Well, you can meet the man who helped design the new California commemorative quarter. Some states, they're not as privileged as we are, and it's hard to come up with recognizable designs. In California, we have a lot of things.
Absolutely.
And that would be the difficult thing, narrowing it down and say, what's going to be the thing that kind of stands out and represents California?
Absolutely. It's as if somebody took the continental United States, lifted it up on the side, and shook all the really cool things into the one corner.
Right.
So, yeah.
Making money, we all have to make money, but you literally did. And for those who have not seen it, I love a guy who brings money into the studio, by the way.
What unites Californians is our love of the state and the love of nature. And what John Muir put into words so eloquently was to appreciate nature, respect it, but most importantly, to enjoy it. And Yosemite, of course, is a natural idea. People who have ever been there have thoroughly enjoyed it, want to go back. So the merging of the two ideas represents the ideal of California.
You know, every artist just dreams of getting the work out.
Today on Between the Lines, you'll get your 2 bits worth as idea meets design, all in a simple quarter, when we meet graphic designer Garrett Burke. Welcome, I'm Barry Kibrick. Garrett's work is immersed in our pop culture. His designs are seen in everything from Star Trek to Star Wars, and from James Bond to Harry Potter. And almost everyone in the country has held his artwork in their hand, for he is the designer of the California Quarter. Now with his book, Quarterama, we see how an idea becomes design and how our country's most valued ideals are expressed on the state quarters of our nation.
It's one of the strengths of the United States Mint 50-State Quarter program. They asked citizens to submit ideas that, if selected, would work their way through the system and become the design of the coin. But I looked at the form and I said, are you kidding me? In the state of California, do you know how many talented people there are? I don't have any ideas, I don't have the time, and they'd never pick mine anyway. And it was my wife, Michelle, and my daughter, Katie, who encouraged me, because I was working in the entertainment industry at the time, said, no, you need to do this. Think of California as a universe. And the idea of California, which can mean many things to many people, that's something that you need to put forth and squeeze into designs. So we submitted ideas the day before the deadline, 15 different design concepts, and one of them which honored John Muir in Yosemite Valley, the idea of Californians loving their state, the beauty, the natural beauty of our state. That was the idea that was expressed through the design of John Muir looking out at the vista of Yosemite Valley. 148 million people collect the coins, but because the coins last for 30 years, they're around for generations and generations. So the coins are little time machines. They're compact lessons that will carry forth long after, let's say it's Connecticut with the Charter Oak. The idea of the coin showing a Connecticut Charter Oak, that's where the colonists hid the charter from the British troops who wanted to retrieve it so that Connecticut could no longer be a colony. Well, we have the idea of that. Safeguard your liberties, safeguard what your society is becoming. How do we put that in a functioning design?
This is Oklahoma's page.
Yes.
Exercise your genius, and these words are on it: zig when all else zag. Be it evolution or design, all species, you were talking about us humans, but all species possess an ability to nurture their worthy talent. That's is paramount to your message.
Yes, so the process of the evolution represented by the scissor-tail flycatcher. It's this beautiful, speedy bird that's on the Oklahoma State Quarter. And it has these wonderful scissor tails when it flies up, very acrobatic. They don't quite understand how it can do what it does. But that took perhaps millions of years to evolve to the point where that's its special talent. And we all have a special talent.
This is the type of project I used to do when I worked in the entertainment industry. Is how do you take vast amounts of information and make it so not only is it understandable, but it's enjoyable, that you actually want to walk through the journey of how it's put forth. But of all the projects I've ever worked on, the one I'm the most proud of, and is still in use, is if you go to a movie and you see at the end, no animals were harmed in the making of this motion picture. I had done this logo as a pro bono favor for the American Humane Association. You all have your own talents and your own desires. What you probably don't have is a lot of time to put forth on projects. But if you can find a project that you can put your talent forth on and make it something a little special, it's a very enriching feeling. And we had been doing a lot of traveling, and we actually started then steering towards some of the sites that are featured on the state quarters. For instance, Concord, the Minuteman statue, and actually learning firsthand by visiting the places that are featured on the points, and what is the regional history, the heritage, talking to the people. Even Pemmican Point, the lighthouse, that's the actual lighthouse that's featured on the point. And you cannot know what a lighthouse is like until you're there on a summer day and you're in a fog bank. And then the fog bank lifts, and all of a sudden there's bright daylight. You understand why you need that high-powered beam. And the idea of George Washington crossing the Delaware, the Emanuel Litz painting, is not that they got from point A to point B, but that we're all in this boat together, and that we have a common shared purpose. The idea really is, in contemporary terms, to energize your cause. And today we use social media, social networking, to rally people around an idea, people who have a shared vision to make something happen. George Washington did that by getting everybody in the same boat. We can do that today using emails. So it's important to understand that we are reliving our own version of the same history from the past.